Okay, so things kind of got out of hand. All right, so now moving forward, I know to never, ever, ever, ever plug in a microphone while you're streaming live. Um, my Apollo did not know what to do. Let's just call it what it is. My Apollo was distraught after I plugged in this other microphone. And granted, I haven't had anything set up on mic 2 in quite some time because I haven't had two microphones set up at this location since the last time. Um, since the last time I had two microphones to set up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take a second to listen here to the audio, and really I just want to get my second mic kind of set up to where I can start recording. Cause I have a very particular sound that I like my microphone to give me, and I don't know, my AKG microphone, it's a great microphone, but it just wasn't giving me what I needed from my particular voice. So what I'm doing is I am going into my console for AUD, and I am going to unmute this mic so I can hear myself. I don't know. I kind of want to just play around with some of the plugins that I purchased and just kind of see, what I need from this particular mic. One thing that I love to put on my mic just right off a jump is the LA2A from Teletronics, and I just think that helps me kind of work on my dynamics. You know, it makes the space feel a little more controlled, if that makes sense. So like when I listen without it, it's not making a big difference, but also this is what's going on before my signal even makes it into my DAW, which is Logic Pro, by the way. Let me straighten this back out. But yeah, so right now I'm just trying to see if there's some things that I can do with this mic. First of all, I'm gonna put it in front of me so I'm addressing it correctly, so I can monitor things from that. It is tilted down towards my face, which is great. So yeah, I'm playing around with this LA2A right now, and the first thing that I want to do is kind of flip through the presets, because that's the first thing I always do, is I try to play around with the presets that are in there and see which things give me a sound that I like. So one of these presets is very high. It turned my gain up a whole lot, but it also took my peak reduction up a whole lot. So I'm not peaking, but I definitely hear myself a lot more. Like even the noise that I can hear from like my tongue resting in my mouth is weird. It's way too loud, and I know I don't want anything this aggressive happening in my chain before it makes its way into my DAW. So I'm gonna just go back. One of these things is a finger picked acoustic, so I'm guessing this is more so for guitars than vocals, but I do like the range that it put my vocal back in and how it calmed me back down. So that's something I might come back to. This says gentle compression. Honestly, this needle isn't moving at all, so I think either the mic will have to be like driven a little bit harder, maybe the input will have to be a little higher for this to interact. Let me play around with this volume knob really quick. Okay, so the peak reduction started coming in as I raised my mic pretty much to like 40 dB. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. Normally I don't record this high at all, But this is giving me kind of like a sweet spot thing. So even when I do get a little more animated on the mic, it only goes up to like about maybe -8. And you know you want to stay between like -12 and -6. So that's a good space for me to be in. It's getting me like a really good take, and really, like, I don't normally get too much more animated than this. So maybe like when I'm rapping I go a little more aggressive, but for the most part this is me. So this is cool. I'm gonna bring the gain back down just because I don't know what this next setting is gonna be like. So I'm gonna bring the gain back down to like 30 versus the 40 where I had it at, to see where this one was gonna start kicking in. Alright, now this one says major compression. And the first thing I saw was this needle moves immediately. The peak reduction is very strong, but I feel like the main thing is it sounds natural. It doesn't sound like I'm being extra muffled or anything like that. My words still feel like they're coming through clearly. I can even hear the reverb of my space because this apartment is very empty. But yeah, so I can hear, what's going on here. Sounds really good. I'm gonna push this gain just a little bit to see how it acts when I do have a little more signal going into it. But it's still a very, very controlled sound. It's still very controlled. I do hear a lot more of my background now. Yeah, you hear the background like strong. It almost sounds like white noise. I feel like I could hear my neighbors if they were snoring. Like, so yeah. Also very high. I try not to blend the background into my signal as much. So I wonder if there's like a gate that I can put on here. Let's see. Special processing, tape and saturation, reverb in the room. So I can add reverbs and stuff like that through here, but there's no gate that I can use that I'm hearing, or that I'm seeing rather. Just straight up on the situation. Which is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not the worst thing in the world. I was just trying to see if it happened, man. Trying to see if it was available, man. But no. Yeah, I'm actually kind of content with how this sounds as far as the levels and the compression that's on here right now. This says medium compression. Same thing. Nothing too crazy. The needle's not moving as much as I would like, so I think I might go back to gentle and kind of either bump my gain in gentle, or catch it in major. You know what I'm noticing though, and the spots where my gain is kind of boost up is where I hear more of my background. So I think what I might do is take the gain down and just have less of my I didn't mean to kick the mic. Have less of my have less gain going into it, so they catch less of my background. And then since the signal doesn't have to be as loud, maybe I'll turn the peak reduction up just so it'll just catch the stuff that is over the top. So yeah. Because if I turn peak reduction all the way down, then it's not doing anything. But if I do like maybe a simple like 20 or 30, I think I have to yell into it or be singing. But I just want to, sorry for your ears. Turn it down. If you have some headphones, you know what I'm saying, turn them down. If you listen to your phone and you're around somebody, you're at work, anything like that, please just turn it down. I am getting ready to do a volume check just so I can see when these settings will cause this compression to kick in. So, yo, check. Look. Okay. So even at the loudest, I didn't peak. So peak reduction doesn't really do a whole lot until you it stopped me from actually peaking, but it didn't stop me from getting like close into those range. So if it was something that I wanted to like distort, that would be good because it's already kind of at the threshold, and then I wouldn't really have to do too much to distress it from there. But now that I got this peak reduction all the way dialed up, let's try it again. Yo, hey yo, check. Yeah. Look, you know what? I think around 70 is where I got it right now. I think that's good. I got my gain kind of between 60 and 50, and then I got my peak reduction at 70. And for the LA2A, that's really all the settings you really need, because everything else is very, very minute. Like there is a knob here that you can turn from the left to right. Well, at least the one in the Slate Digital bundle has like a dial that you can turn. But we got a gain reduction thing where you can boost your output to +4 or 10. So depending on what you got going on, you know what I'm saying, you can play around with that and make sure that your output is always boosted to a certain level. We also, got the power. Turn that on, turn that off. And then we have something that's like a limiter and a compressor. So depending on how you want the LA2A to function, you can change it from limit to compress. I try to keep it on compress when I'm working on a vocal or something like that. It's not like I'm running my whole mix through this, so try not to use limiters when it comes to a vocal chain, but some people do. Let's go channel strips. What channel strips do I have? I got the Century Tube situation. I got a CS4 that already sounds crazy. It look like it sounds like it got a lot of stuff going on. It almost sounds like like the ad lib or like a telephone kind of thing, but it also has like a slight delay to it. So that is interesting to say the least. All of these things sound like they got like reverb and delay kind of like blended in already. So I'm getting ready to look at these blocks here or these sections here and see what all is going on. So like I said, they do have a delay modulator that you can enable and bypass. We also have a reflector that you can enable and bypass, and that was giving me my reverb. Now that I turned it off, I hear myself and not this reflector. I think the reflector kind of just takes everything and echoes it at its own thing. You can dial in the delay depending on like if you know what your number has to be for the delay that you are looking forward to. Me, I don't have that dialed in, and then on top of that, I don't have a BPM here for it to react off of. But if you do have a BPM already dialed into your console, at the bottom where it says tempo to the bottom left, you can lock that in, and then you can like sync it, and then it'll be like 1/16, 1/2, 1/8, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna just turn it on quarter note and just see what's going on. just to hear, the balance of how it's going on. Okay, cool. So now we got EQ, and we have a compressor. So it's EQ, compressor, reverb, delay, which is cool. Yeah, so that's a channel strip that I have access to. Let's see what else we have. There's the precision channel strip. That sounds extremely dry. A lot of this sounds like it is for instruments. I'm trying to just go through these presets to see if I see anything that says it's for vocals. This one says vocal start. It just sounds like it's really deafening what I got going on. It doesn't sound like it's bringing any like clarity to what's happening. So I think if I did try to use that, I would go through and kind of clean it up a little bit. There's one that says vocal push. That's not bad. I like this, especially for something that it's supposed to be pre-mixed. So this is before it goes into the DAW, like I'm saying. And also, I'm not even using my rap tone, I guess. So I probably shouldn't be judging it off of this. But if I'm just thinking about my voice right now, sounds good. What time is it? Because I definitely got some moves to make today. But we just gonna continue with this because this is the task at hand. But yeah, man, it feels really, really good to be back to this mic. Let's see what this last channel strip is like. Oh, okay, this is just the UA situation. I get to boost my level. It also gives me like a low cut and a high cut on here. Which is cool. Let me see if I can bring my highs up. Oh, it clicks. Okay, so it's not like one of those things where you're just free to put it wherever. It kind of clicks. So if I were to, okay, so that takes a lot of the low end off. Let me just see. Oh no, that adds that back in. Let's see what it sounds like when I take it away. Boom. Let's go 250. I want to take away the 250 range. Yo, check. Check. Okay, so hearing it boosted and hearing it taken away. Okay. I could kind of mess around with this. I ain't even gonna hold you. This ain't bad. I could play around with this. I will probably want to have that before my LA2A though, because I want the LA2A to kind of catch the nuances and the stuff that I'm adding in over here. I don't want to compress the signal and then EQ a whole bunch of extra sound into it. I'd rather just let the compressor handle all of the extra noise that this EQ is adding. But yeah, this is cool. Let me see what it sounds like when I take out the 100. I think I might use it at 100 versus the 250. 250 kind of gives you, it starts to lean towards not sounding natural just a little bit. So I want to keep it as natural as I can without overdoing anything. So there's that. But yeah, long story short, it has a lot of good settings in here. I think it's really easy to use, focus on, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure this came with it. So Let's go on the console real quick and just make sure we done authorized all of our plugins here whenever it pops up. Okay. Yep, looks like everything's authorized, so we're good there. So yeah, that's me unboxing my new microphone, setting it up. And this is gonna be my voiceover mic moving forward. So might even be my recording mic if I'm being real. I just gotta add the field around it. And I also so I need two of those actually, because I need one for the mic that I'm going to be recording other artists on. I need one for this mic, and I got some moving blankets that I want to put around it just to kind of deafen the area a little bit more, so we're not hearing so many reflections. But I'm not mad at this. I actually have a song that I want to try out with this new mic, so I am going to, you know, about to switch some things around really quick, play around with some different ideas, and then once I get all of that stuff up and running, I will check back in and maybe play this new song for y'all, man. Who knows? But for the time being, it's your man Sean Sounds. I'm getting up out of here. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me today.